Okay, so I just want to go through question 9D part 2 from the 2020 ordinary level paper 1. All right, so in part 1 we're asked to complete this table. So we've got a pattern in the question with a number of triangles in each stage building up, and we just complete this table in line with what we have there, and then just continuing on the pattern. In part 2 then, I'm told that the area of each triangle is 4√3 centimeters squared. So that's equal to the area of one triangle. Okay, so pattern number 1 contains one triangle, so it will be 4√3 in area. Pattern stage number 2 is 3 triangles, so it will be 3 multiplied by this. Pattern number 3 contains 5 triangles, so the area of it would be 5 multiplied by 4√3, etc. Okay. The question asks me to find, correct to the nearest centimeter squared, the combined total area covered by the first 15 patterns in the sequence. It says combined total area of the 15 patterns. So it's not just looking for the area covered by the 15th pattern. It's the combined total area of the first 15. So it is how much area would be taken up by the first pattern plus the second one plus the third one plus the fourth plus the fifth plus the sixth all the way up to the 15th. Okay, so it's not just the 15th stage, how many triangles are in that multiplied by 4√3. You would need to get the area of each stage and add those together. Okay, so what you could do this by what we would call brute force. So this is one triangle, so 1 multiplied by 4√3, and then 3 multiplied by 4√3, and then 5 multiplied by 4√3, and then 7 multiplied by 4√3, etc. And you'd have to go 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, all the way up to the 15th, multiply those out, and then you'd have to add those 15 answers together. Okay, and look, that's fine. If you've time in the exam, you can do it that way. There is an easier way of doing it though. So what I'm going to do is add up how many triangles are there in the first 15 stages of this. Okay, and that's what my SN formula is for. So I've got the SN formula in the log tables, and that is n over 2 on 2a plus n minus 1d. Okay, and this adds up the first n terms in a sequence for us. So I'm looking for how many triangles in the first 15 stages. So I'm looking for S15. So I've got n over 2 is now 15 over 2. So n is how many stages you're looking to add up. On 2a, so on 2 times, a is always the number of, say, triangles in this case in the first term, so it would be 1 in this case, plus n minus 1, so that's 15 minus 1. D, then the common difference is how much is your sequence going up by each time. So this is going up in 2s. 2 would go in for D. All right, now you're just going to multiply this out. You can do as much of it on the calculator as you want. I'll maybe just break it up into a couple of stages. So 15 over 2 on 2 times 1 is 2, plus 15 minus 1 is 14 on 2. So I've got 15 over 2 on 2 plus 14 times 2 is 28. So I've got 15 over 2 times 30. And if you do 30 multiplied by 15 over 2, that is 225. So this means that in the first 15 stages of this pattern, there is 225 triangles. So 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11 plus 13 plus 15 plus 19 all the way up to how many triangles there are in the 15th stage is going to give you 225 triangles. All right, I'm asked How much area will these take up? Well, the area of one of them is 4 root 3. So all I'm going to do is total area is 4 root 3. So the area of one of them multiplied by 225. Let's just do that on the calculator and I get 1558.85. What does it say? Question says to the nearest centimeter squared. So that is 1559 centimeters squared, and that's me done. Okay, so look, I used the SN formula there. As I said, you could have done it by just going 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11 plus 13 plus 15. The sequence isn't that complicated. You would have been able to maybe add those up on your calculators, making sure to stop when you get to the 15th pattern. You get 225 multiplied by the 4 root 3, and there's your answer, 1559 centimeters squared. All right. Just, I suppose, just it's a good question just to tease out the kind of subtle wording of these questions sometimes. So the combined total area covered by the first 15, it's looking for you to use the SN formula. How many triangles in the total 15 stages added together in total, not just how many triangles in the 15th stage multiplied by 4 root 3. If it said, what's the area covered by the 15th pattern, then that would just be how many triangles in the 15th. You'd be looking at using the TN formula for that. All right, so that's question 9D, part 2.